Even for me, it's hard to resist them baits. This is the Curltail 21 centimeter BullTeez in ready to fish version. It's a new bait, awesome to fish from the bank and from the boat. An expert or a novice, everybody can fish this bait. How it works, how you fish it, and what the secret is about this bait, this I will show you in this video. Oh, what a nice strike. Oh, that's a good one. I like it, really. Awesome bait, the BullTeez Curltail. Oh, not a big one, but a cool strike. There it is. Woo! Okie dokie. Okie dokie. A lovely fish. Just get the hook out quickly. Now I would like to show you the secret of this ready to fish, super cool BullTeez Curltail. You know, the BullTeez Curltail is coming in 5 different sizes. Normally when you buy them without any harness inside. A small one for perch, Zander, a medium one for Zander and Pike, and then bigger sizes for the big ones. The thing is, when you use those baits, you have to rig them, either with a jig hook, or you can go with screw-in jig heads, or you just fish them with a shallow screw when you want to fish them shallow. In all these cases, you have to rig the stuff on your own. But now we have done it for you. So they are ready to fish out of the pocket. We started with this size. It's perfect for all type of fishing, boat fishing as well as fishing from the shore. Tiny little drains up to very, very big waters. The secret to this bait is the inner harness. The BullTeez Curltail in 21 centimeters has this harness inside. The harness is made out of lead-free material, has a jig hook here, and this jig hook is attached to an extra wire with a loop where the split ring and the treble is attached. The size and also the shape of the harness makes the bait swim very, very straight. Just a tiny little wobbling, rolling action, very, very, very light, but the tail is doing the job. Another very important feature to this harness is this tiny little eyelet here underneath the chin. You can see it here very, very clearly. And that makes the whole bait super versatile. So you can fish it like it is now, which is running quite shallow, especially when you lift up the rod tip. You can fish it literally a few centimeters just above the weed beds under the surface. If you let them down, it will go like this. Once you start retrieving it, the head comes a little bit up, but not like that, just a little bit, avoiding to catch too much weed. And then, if you want to fish them deeper, you can use one of our additional switch weights in small sizes, but also heavier ones. So if you want to fish this bait quite deep, let's say 4, 5, 6 meters, you just go and put 14 grams on it, and the way how you attach it is quite easy. You just go into this eyelet under the chin, you turn it a little bit, and then this weight will hang very, very stable, flexible enough to give a good movement. And the good thing is our switch weights are shaped like this. So once you put pressure on, the lure starts moving, the whole thing is presented this way. So the whole shape of the lure is not disturbed by any strange stuff hanging around his chin or neck. This is a way how you can bring the bait far deeper in water areas where the big pikes are hunting. Okie dokie. Another nice strike. Changed the color, because the water changed also a little bit. Oh, another pikey. Oh. Ooh, that That was another pike on the collar perch. A lot more light, much clearer water, very nice, shimmering, shiny, fleshy, through the tail with some glitter inside, gold glitter. Very, very good. Good tip, try it out and you will see. In total, we talk about 73 gram weight. That sounds a heavy bait, but it isn't, because the harness is not that heavy. You know, I've shown you the harness. It's casting weight enough to bring the bait out, also to bring it into the right depths, but the rubber material, which is nearly floating, helps to lift up the bait. And due to the way how the harness is attached inside the bait, it makes the lure swimming horizontally. When I fish it, especially when I want to fish it in the summer above the weed beds, it's really casting out. Immediately when the lure hits the water, I close the reel, close the bail arm and start retrieving, even with the rod tip up. Then I don't give the bait too much space to sink, probably only half a meter or a meter, of course depending on the room between water surface and the last part of the weed. So this area is so important in which the lure is swimming. But then when you have some areas where the water is quite deep, or you will have some areas where you have less weeds, you can just stop. So still you have a retrieve, you do a pause, and in the pause the lure is still moving because it goes down and the tail makes the whole movement. And during this pause I very often have a good strike, because this is exactly when the pike is following the bait, and then the normal, let's say, swimming away movement is stopped by a pause, and then the bait goes down. That is very often the trigger to grab the bait. Or the other way around, once it's fall into such a big hole and you start retrieving it, then the bait all of a sudden comes up, makes a little bit more faster movement with the tail, and that is the right time to grab the bait. So you can play with this lure extremely well, and you have seen it even in this very shallow drains here, that I'm really playing with the rod tip. Gives you enough power to cast even against the wind, and it will also bring you a lot of fish in very shallow water. Even the bait looks a little bit bigger, and because you fish different than many of you other fellows, and that makes a whole difference. It's nice first cast, just under the bridge. Okie dokie. Lovely jack from the shore. Marvelous, especially when you don't have that much time for fishing. You want to have a ready to fish bait. That will help a lot to catch nice fish. We just have jumped with Westin into our ready-to-fish range. We have chosen for the most valuable and also fish-catching baits, like the shed tees and also the BullTeez curl. We have rigged them ready with the harness inside, made them swim perfectly, so it's very easy to use. You just pack them out, put your trays on, and you can go fishing. And you always can be assured that these baits are running straight, does the right action and catch a lot of fish. So no headaches at all with what kind of jig head I have to use, is there any jig head I need to use, how many stingers, what kind of hook size. All these headaches has been solved by this ready to fish baits. Especially when you fish close to bridges and some rocky parts, it's cool to have these inner harnesses inside. So you have a soft, as you can see here, you have a soft nose on the bait, and even if you hit rocks or concrete, like in that case, it will not damage the lure. You don't make that much noise, and the lure will swim perfectly. because in many cases it's important for a perfect position. Not always you can... That was a strike. Immediately. Look, I just dropped the bait and then a short tick. So the pike is here around. They use the shadow of bridges like this, and especially when you have a pre-rigged lure, it brings the lure into the perfect action, and this is exactly what we want. So no long walking around, looking around, checking baits. You know, the first cast can make a huge difference. We have positioned our treble hook as well as the jig hook here in the front part of the bait for one simple reason. As you can see here, there is the strike zone. So this is the part where the pike is killing the bait. So he is focusing on the head, grabbing the lure like this, and this is also the perfect position to swallow a real fish. So they are not nibbling at the tail. Of course you get sometimes tail bites, but these are smaller pikes or even just reaction strikes. So you get a tail bite, then they turn, and then because it's soft, they don't feel any danger or whatever, then they come back and then they kill the bait from here, from the head. And that is the reason why we have positioned our single hook here and the treble hook there. That makes the whole thing second to none when it comes to catching fish. Oh, that's a good strike. Full distance. And this is a great stuff when you have the ready to fish baits on. They cast like hell. Not a big one, but grabbed them nicely. Grabbed them nicely. Whew. And you see, they always grab them from the head. You can see it very clearly. Yeah. Here it is. Look. Nice little pike. Attack from the head. Gone. Here it is. Again, a super cool strike. Nice pike. Well, lovely bait, huh? And I would say, let's catch another one. Let's start with the ones they have UV inside. This is official roach, and official roach with its extremely bright orange belly makes a big difference to many other normal, quite natural looking baits, because this orange belly is in waters where the water is quite dark, or where you have this typical, let's say, Coca-Cola black tea water. You know, it's clear but not really clear, and it has a certain tin inside. This is the color you definitely need to have, because the orange makes them feeding, and especially the pike, they love this color. A day without tiger perch is a day without fish, I would say. This color is catching fish in all type of colored water. Even if you have clear water and the pike are very aggressive and they like some really shocking colors, then the tiger perch is the one you have to choose. And especially in the summertime when you have green water with a lot of algae, this is my secret color. This is motor oil burbot. It's also a very, very fleshy color because there is a lot of motor oil, a lot of green inside. If you put UV light on and you look at it, it's a really greeny, very dark green colored bait. And especially when you fish at night or when it starts to get a little bit darker, this color is a super cool color. And we also like it when we fish them sharp shooting. So when we see the fish in our echo sonar, echo sounder, and we cast to the fish, because the silhouette to the surface is very dark, makes the bait even look bigger and is super attractive also in clear water, but especially in a little bit darker water, darker circumstances. This is the one you definitely have to have in your tackle box. Abracadabra. A range of lures without headlight it's impossible. I mean, headlight is one of the most sold colors and fish catching colors we have in our Westin range. It's super natural wherever you have bleak, you have bream, you have roach, you have whatever fish you think about, which is silver, with a silver pattern, very natural looking. You match the hedge with it as well. The funny thing is, this is a very cool bait for even darker water, because the white inside here flashes a lot, so you can fish super clear water as well as dark water. So if you are not 100% sure what your fishing water will look like when you go, for example, on holidays or whatever, with headlight you are always on the safe side and you will always get your fish wherever you fish. The cola perch is a quite dark bait, little bit translucent, especially the tail, with a lot of gold glitter. I like this color, especially when you have super clear water and a lot of sunshine. This glitter inside reflects a lot and make the silhouette of this lure super natural and quite big, because of this darker part on the top and a lot of glitter on the belly. So whenever you have clear water and you have a lot of sunshine and the pike are a little bit tricky and picky, this can be a big game changer. Another well-known feller is natural pike. Look, this color, well, this is one of the best color when pike wants to eat pike. So big pikes are after the little jacks. This is match the hatch, I would say. All waters where you have pike, especially after spawning and they are after the little ones, they like this color. So definitely a must-have in all tackle boxes when you are a serious pike angler. Oh, that's nice. That is really great. Just changed to natural pike and got a really good strike. And let's have a look what it is. Some cool head shakes. Such a great lure. Versatile lure for all type of fishing. And I think I do a good job by putting the net in. It's a nice one. Whoa, it's looks like a big Zander. Yeah, it is. Well, what can I say? The curltail is such an amazing bait. And of course it's fixed and ready to see it swims perfectly. It's not good for pike, also big Zanders, they love it. Let's have a look. Oh, wonderful fish. A nice way to finish a great day of fishing with a tremendous versatile lure. Check it out at your local fishing dealer.